Hi, everyone. I know I'm a couple minutes early, but the last time we did this, I had some technical difficulties. Oh my gosh, you guys. And I'm sorry it doesn't look straight on the camera. I can't move my tripod. Oh, I don't know. You guys are just going to have to deal with me crooked. Hey, Laura. How are you, girl? You're going to have to deal with my butt crooked because I can't figure it out. You guys, I'm having my own. Hi, Lori. Hi, Mina. Okay, I just have to say, I don't even know why I'm in this hop because after watching everybody else, I feel like I am so, you know what I mean. I don't even have to go, hi, Patricia. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Nana. Oh my gosh. Wonky is fine with you? Oh, please. You guys, yeah. I don't even know if I could even get it straight if I wanted to. Like, I don't even know if I could even get it. Let me see if No, I'm like wonky. Wonky's what you do. Hi, Miss Sally K. So I have to say, I loved everything everybody did. Everything. And you know, I I am grateful to be included. I don't feel unworthy. Hi, Barb. Barb, you were fabulous. Could everybody tell Barb how fabulous she was? Hi, Candy. Hi, Nora. So I'm doing Painty Papers. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Dana. How are you, girl? Hi, Renee. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Ruth. Cindy B. How are you, girl? Anyway, I am grateful, first of all, to Meri. You know, we got to give our girl Meri some kudos. Hi, Artie Dar. You said I'm worthy. You didn't finish your things from last time. Oh, girl. Hi, Violet. I can't even tell you guys. So we picked the topic of this hop was what your passion is, and I have a lot of them. And if you guys have been hanging out with me for a while, you know what it is. Hi, Miss Barb Clark. You know, mine's really about recycling. I love upcycling. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Norma. Hi, Jane. Hi, Julie. So mine's about recycling. And if you guys know anything about me at all, I am all about the painting paper, but I don't paint on art paper. Okay, because I don't know why. I have plenty of it. Hi, Mary Lou. I have plenty of art paper, but I'm obsessed with arting on magazine pages. So I love to paint on magazine pages, but saying that, not all magazine pages are equal. Okay, they aren't. Hey, Susan. Hi, Janet. Hey, Deb. So my favorite, and it's free, my favorite thing is a restoration hardware catalog or a shade store catalog. And these are free. And I love them anyway because they've got cool patterns in them. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Joyce. So this is my favorite. This and a restoration hardware catalog. And then, you know, then I would probably say like Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, you know, those kind of, just because the page quality is better. Hi, Aunt Beck. How are you, girl? And Becky, I love your Afghan that you finished. It's awesome. So I am obsessed, and I've been painting on junk mail, and I like junk mail too, but I have to say, I think good catalog pages are my favorite. Hi, Lisa. Lisa, you are so talented. You guys, her collage books, your fairy book was stunning. Okay, I'm sorry. It was amazing. Hi, Stack. And I've loved everything everybody's done. Everybody has done some crazy things. Malia and her clusters, and everybody's things were great. And I loved all of it. I loved everything everybody's done. It's been great. Juanita, she makes you want to spin, right? So you guys know how to paint papers. I'll just show you how I paint papers. But you know, most people use a glue book to relax. I think I paint on trash to relax. Okay. So and I just paint on it. So I just use a credit card, and then sometimes a stencil, sometimes not a stencil, and sometimes they come out great. And like this one sat there too long because I painted it a few minutes ago, and it came up. You guys, it doesn't matter. You can't make a mistake because all you have to do after that is just go back over it. Right? You can't get it wrong. You cannot get it wrong. Okay? Can't get it wrong. Okay? So I'm painting with I like Starbucks gift cards. Those are good to paint with. I like anything that's would be end up in a landfill personally. This I got in the mail. I've been painting with it for, you guys have been watching my channel. I've had this for like 4 or 5 years. This little thing. Hi, Card Chick. So I love to paint. I think that it's like glue booking for me is like painting papers is like glue booking for me. Okay. So that's it for me. And then of course you can doodle on it, you can stencil on it, you can do whatever on it. So that's just one. And I'll show you a bunch of them that I've done. And you guys, I have boxes and boxes of painted papers, but for those of you that don't know, we're moving. So most of my stuff's in storage. So I can only show you what I have right around me. The other thing I like to paint on, believe it or not, and I use it as my underpaint paper, is wax paper. And I'm just using, this is a wax text, and it is double-sided wax paper. You don't have to use double-sided wax paper, but this one is, means wax on both sides. I like that too. And I use it as my drop cloth, and then later on put it in my journal, use it for collage fodder. I'm like Lisa, everything is a collage. So I use my painting papers as, I'll show you some of the examples. So the other thing that I like to use is, it takes so many books apart. I use book blocks. Okay. Book blocks are my thing. I have a ton of them. I will say some, just like magazines, not all book blocks are created equal. So, you test it out, see what works for you. And if I miss saying hi to anybody, I'm sorry. You love painting papers, Lisa. I've witnessed Lisa's painting papers. Yours are fabulous. So the more magazine pages. This one is restoration hardware. Okay, so the other thing I do is, so I paint on something. Okay, this is not finished, but let's say, I don't know. I'll paint on it, and then I'll put the book pages. How many of you guys take apart Reader's Digest? All their pages are not always good for other things. They could be really brittle. So I'll just use them to back up, especially because this was I don't know, you guys. This was not a good one. This was not a good quality magazine page. It could have been anything. Because I'm not so, I guess it just depends upon the project. So I'll back them with book pages, and then I'll show them to you. Then I make Happy Mail envelopes from them. Okay. I know what I'll show you guys. I don't really have much to, you guys all know how to make painted papers, but I can show you one cool thing. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, my partner he's a fine art painter. He calls my art lovingly pity pat art, because he says he can't paint like I do because I am not attached to it. He paints he paints really cool things. He's paints for a living. He paints big, huge canvases. So say he has a 5-foot canvas and he's painted it and but say he wants to make a mark, but he wants to put the mark repetitiously in a spot on the canvas. Let me find a good paint. Let me find a dark paint. I tried to find my black paint because we're moving. All my stuff is I have no idea where I was looking for black paint, because black paint, if any of you guys have that chalkboard paint, that works good too. Okay, let me just find a small brush. So we all need to thank Meri, because she's so awesome for putting together these hops. I am so appreciative. So say this is some big canvas and you want to do some mark on it, right? So he takes wax paper, or you can take plastic too. He's also used a plastic drop cloth. Okay. And then he'll like do whatever his object is, right? And he'll go to wherever he wants it on the canvas and he'll put it down. Obviously, I put too much paint, but you guys get the idea. So you can use your wax paper or your plastic packaging like a transference. And so you can use like a stamp, right? You know, so it's kind of cool, right? That's kind of cool. That's my big show for the moment. Okay. Guys, too much. I don't want to put it in my coffee. Okay, let me just show you what I've made with some Painty Papers. You guys, with the holidays coming up, I like to give, I make my own wrapping paper. I make it out of brown paper bags or packing paper, or if you buy things in, if you buy stuff on Amazon, right? Make it with that. So I'll show you what I do. I'll show you some of my Painty Papers. These are just what I have here for no rhyme or reason. So like this is just one that I probably used it as a rub off, but that would be a great collage background, right? Great collage background. And then I took some chalk markers and went over it. This is just some iridescent one I was using for something. And what I did was it must have been leftover paint on a jelly plate. I just drew circles in it and then dabbed it off. But sometimes what I'll do if I'm making a Painty Paper, like, let me see. Let me just show you. So for like this Painty Paper, say I get too much paint on the page, I'll just take another paper and I'll just do that. And I'll just keep going. So I have like roll-off books. I have, and you're like going, well, that's not anything, but in bits and pieces and in tiny increments, it's amazing, right? So, I mean, that's just what I do. So, I mean, and you're going to say, okay, how do you use these? You guys, you use them the same way you use any paper, you know, any paper. Like here's one that I use those Tim Holtz gears as, you know, as a mark making tool. And let's see, more Painty Papers, magazine page. This probably was a Wine Spectator. Okay, all magazine pages are not alike, but Wine Spectators are thin. But one thing I love about them is they're matte, so they take paint better. Does that make sense? Yeah, these are just some bits and pieces from collage. These are obviously, some of these are like brittle book pages that are not great. Okay, so that's some of those. Now, let me see. Let me see. So I'll just sit and, when I'm stressed, make Painty Papers. So here we go. Here's like plethora of Painty Papers. Some probably were roll-off pages if I was painting on a canvas or had extra paint or was art journaling and just wanted to like use it. So lots and lots and lots of Painty Papers. Now, I make my own wrapping paper. I make my own greeting cards. I make my own gift bags, all from Painty Papers. You can sew them together. You can glue them together. You can glue them onto it like patchwork, make serendipity paper with them. So that's just some. Now let me just show you. So here's one. Here's like a Painty Paper. Here's a Painty. This is a piece of wallpaper. I was making a little junk journal for my purse. You know, like a little. So it was Painty Paper or wallpaper sample. You can really use your old ugly scrapbook paper, make it new again. If you have a die cutting machine, great. I have made and sold at craft fairs Painty Paper earrings. So what I would do is I would take, like, I'd make a whole bunch of Painty Papers, and then maybe I'd take a punch. Let me see if I have one by. I don't, because that's just my life. Take a punch and punch out the circle here. Sorry. Hang on. Okay. So say I was like going to make some Painty Paper earrings. Okay, this is a good one for Painty Paper earrings. You can put them through a die cutting machine, but if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can freehand cut them too. Okay, painty paper earrings. So say I was gonna, when I used to go to craft fairs all the time, I'd be like, oh, so maybe I would take, that might be one earring, and I would back it on something stiff, obviously, and then another, right? So then back them on a piece of cardboard or product packaging, put some triple thick or that Mod Podge glossy or something to make it look, you know, more heavy duty, and then poke holes in it, put ear wires. And if you have yourself some cool dies or more intricate ones, go for it. They work great. Painty paper earrings. Let's see. So this is a painty paper journal. All right, let's see what else. Okay, here we go. So here is some, okay, this was painting magazine page. I sewed it together on the sides. I put those brittle book pages in, and it's great to go as some Happy Mail. Just put your label on it to go, right? Painty paper, it was just a magazine page. Painty paper magazine page, okay? Painty paper flowers. So, I mean, you could make these really big and put them on your package like a bow, right? I just sewed in the center of it. You could put a brad in it. You could staple it. You know, these are just free hand-cut circle magazine page painty papers for your bow. Your gift tags. The holidays are coming up. Painty papers on top of I got a bunch of used file folders from my old job they were throwing out. So I just cut them. There you go. Voila, gift tags for your presents. Painty paper garland. So, I mean, I make Christmas gifts and Christmas ornaments with my kids every year. And somebody gets to choose the color and the theme. I try not to go buy anything. So this was just the circle punch, and then I just sewed it on a sewing machine. You could do them bigger. You could do them smaller. This one is backed with a manila envelope. I would say if you're going to use magazine pages, make sure they're double thick if you're going to sew through them, right? You could also, I've also used the same technique and put it on a gift, like made this as the gift thing, you know, the ribbon. Okay, here is a painty paper. I can't know if you can see it. It's got a, because it's metallic paint, painty paper gift bag made from wax paper. Let me see if I can put a piece of white paper in it, and then maybe you'll see it better. It would be, you'll be able to see it if the glare will be less. If I can put a book page in it, then you can see it. So I make gift bags out of my painty paper. So can you see it now? I don't know if you can see it. It's got metallic. I stamped I'll show you what I did. That one's got some metallic on it. But you know, if you're going to do painty papers, then do it like this. The painty paper should go on the outside, so that if you wanted to stick food or anything or whatever you're going to give on the inside, it won't get on. I mean, it doesn't come off, but you get the general idea, right? Let's see. Here's another one. Here, painty paper. I don't know if you can see it. This is painty papers, and then I used a stamp and some ink. I stamped a butterfly on it in the front for your gift bag, for your painty paper, wax paper gift bag. Now you can make them as big as you want because wax paper comes in rolls. So, you know, I don't know. You know, you guys know me. I'm all about like, what can I get away with doing without having to spend any money that I already have that's going to end up in a landfill. So several years ago, I made painty paper magazine page feathers. So this is the beginning of one, and you just, you know, cut it. I've also made painty paper pens, you know, where you get the inside of a ballpoint pen, and then I made a feather pins out of them too. Here's the beginning of a painty paper flower. Okay, so painty paper flower is just all these random circles, hand cut. This is made, and then I sewed it on the sewing machine in the center. So what I'll do if I'm going to do a bunch of gifts or whatever, I'll sit down and I'll make a whole bunch of this, and I'll leave them flat until I need them. And then all you do is you just wad them up until and you can make them huge, you guys. You can make them big. You could do it out of brown paper. Just think about it. If you made these out of brown paper and just hit the edges with some metallic paint, or just randomly, you know, did some metallic on it, and then you put these on your packages. You've got to crumple them up to where they don't look good, and then you open them back up. Obviously, you could cut yours perfect circles. Mine were not. Mine were ovals, just because of the paper that I had. So you want to crumple it all up. You're going, what the heck are you doing? And then you're going to open it back up. And you can't get it wrong. And it looks good no matter what. I've actually made a whole wreath of these with Painty Papers before. Had a job where they expected you to decorate, but you didn't have a budget. And I was like, well, what am I going to make them out of? So I've made it out of Painty Papers. I made Painty Paper. I made a huge Painty Paper wreath. So you get the idea, right? So there you go. I mean, you can make it more flat if you want. And I find the more pieces you put in the layers, the better, but you test it out. See what works for you. So there you go. I mean, you get the idea, right? Can you imagine them all in a wreath? They look great. Let me see what else I have to show you guys. Okay. Painty Papers for the backgrounds of ATCs. That's probably one of the ways I use it all the time. You know, and so Painty Papers, and then do whatever you're going to do on top of it. This is the Painty Paper tag I made with I think it was out of a magazine. Yeah, it was out of a magazine page. Let me see. Here's another little Painty Paper journal cover. This little junk journal made with Lisa's technique of doing her marbling paper. And more Painty Papers. A little purse journal for yourself. Tried to gather what I could find. So you guys get the idea, you know. You get the idea. My friend Tracy sent me this. And this is a great way to, if you've ever had one of these like little journals you can get them when they're on sale. She did Painty Paper borders. And I think she used watercolors. She sent me this. Isn't that cool? So you can even do it on a composition book. This is watercolor though. But you guys get the idea. This is a great gift. Like I got this, she sent it to me for my birthday a couple years ago. I thought I won the lottery because I love it so much. And I've used many of the pages. I'll tear them out and put them in my own journals or put them in different things. You guys get the idea. you get the You want one too, Lisa? Right? It was like, I have to tell you, when she sent it to me, it was like, I was so into it. Okay, last thing I'll show you how to do, because I know somebody will always say, well, how do you do that? And it's like so easy. Let me find my magazine. It's easier if I show you out of a magazine page because it's big. How to make a bag. How to make a gift bag. If I could, what did you say? Teresa said, if I could, if it were me doing it, everyone else could be right and you'd be wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Jane. I don't know what you got. I wasn't watching the chat. So let me find one that I don't see. I love this magazine and I can already see like I can cut this out and cut that out. But let me just find one and I'll just make a bag. So what's cool about this is that you can paint on it before or after. This is the fastest, cheapest gift bag ever. Okay, so one, and then one overlapping, however much you decide. And you can do this with anything. Book pages, any wax paper. You saw the wax paper ones I did. Okay. And then you're going to fold the bottom up. Okay. And on my messy desk has got to be some glue. There's got to be some glue here because, guys, I can't live without my glue. I use glue sticks to do this, but you guys use what you have. If you want wet glue, you just have to let it sit for a little longer. You can't just like it won't just dry with wet glue. You guys, my table, do you guys ever have this that your table just gets smaller and smaller and smaller? No matter, here it is, no matter what you do. Okay. So pick the overlapping side. You could put glue on both sides, but I don't think it's necessary unless you are going to put something super heavy in it. So there's no reason with this holiday season coming up that any of you can do this out of newspaper. Any of you need to go buy any gift wrapping. You can tell people you're saving the planet. Okay, glue it. Now I just stick a little glue on the inside of the, and you could sew these too. I've sewn them before too. Put glue on one side of that. Fold it down, glue on the outside. Look, I've sewn this. My exciting burnisher. And then just cut the top or whatever and then fold it down, right? Now, if you want to gusset your bag, what you want to do is you want to go into the inside after the glue's dry. You don't want to do it while the glue's wet. And you want to, like, look, you want to go into the inside after the glue's dry, and then you want to pinch the end of your bag. So if you wanted your bag to stand up, you know, like if you made this big and you wanted it to stand up. And then what I do is I fold it in this way on the outside and use either double, you could glue it, double stick tape, washi tape, whatever, right? And then your bag will have a nice gusset in it. And if you wanted to stick a piece of cardboard in the bottom, you could, so that it could hold something really. Get the idea, right? Yeah. What I would do then is I would fold it. Let's see. Fold it this way. Fold it back the other way, so that my gussets stay. And then you would measure your the bottom of your bag to see how big your cardboard would need to be. Then your bag would stand straight up. That's it, you guys. That's me. You guys got my painty paper flowers. You got my painty paper journals. You got my painty paper my painty paper wax bags, my painty paper garland, my painty paper more flowers, tags, ATCs, envelopes. I love to send Happy Mail this way. I would, if you are going to send it and not stick it into something else, you want to make sure you glue the label in, because when they run it through a meter, it'll go. Tips and tricks. Right? Tips and tricks. Because I don't know what I did before. Like, I've always made the stuff that I've given, and I've always made my own gift wrap. I don't know how many of you guys do it, but I always, even when my kids were little, I would cut kitchen sponges and shapes, and we would, you know, roll out newsprint and make our own wrapping paper. It just seemed, hi, Jennifer. It just seemed more personal. Hi, Mina. Yes, you can do it out of scrapbook paper. Use what you have. Yeah, you're convinced the table shrinks. Oh, girls, it doesn't matter how big I start out. It's like, it just goes nowhere. It's ridiculous. I'm the painting paper queen. No, I think Lisa's the painting paper queen. I follow a close third. I'm sure there's many more out there. You were spoiled because your dad worked for Hallmark. Okay, when I was in high school, I worked for Hallmark. I worked for a Hallmark store, and I would take all the things that were wrong and ripped, and I would create my own. Painting paper, the whole world. You're right, totally right. Comics work great. Comics, I use newspapers. If I travel to a foreign country, I grab foreign country newspapers. I have Chinese magazines, all kinds of different things like that. You know, it makes it interesting. When I lived in New York City, subway maps, bus maps, you know, during the year when you would get one here or there, I kept them all. Atlas pages, any kind of maps. You made jingle bell necklaces? Ooh, that sounds fun. Sunday funnies, yes. Used to use it as wrapping paper. Absolutely. So you guys got my whole 411 on. I mean, I don't know if here, let me see. I have a collage journal right here. Not quite as extensive as Lisa's, but mine has tons. It's a magazine journal and it has tons of painted papers in it. This is a recipe book that I've been working on forever that I haven't finished. I typed all the recipes out. Now I have to just glue them in. But all these painted papers, and this was a gesso transfer. But painted papers, see, paint more painted papers. Painted papers, you can't go wrong, and it makes everything you do one of a kind. I know, you're right. We do save. All papers are subject to hoarding. You know what? I only hoard other people's painted papers. Is that ridiculous? I don't hoard like scrapbook paper. I don't hoard it. Other people's painted papers, but I do. I love everyone's painted papers. These are all painted papers. Painted papers, more painted papers, more painted papers, more painted papers. Well, I think Miss Meri is next. Meri, we just want to say we love you and we appreciate you. And you have trouble hoarding paper? Lisa, I'm telling you, girls, I have to tell you, this whole moving thing right now is like a little bit, it's a little stressful. But saying that, if you guys are around on Friday, I'm going to be de-stashing, having a Black Friday sale over on Kiera Hart's channel to benefit Defy. If you guys want to come over and collect some of my my carefully collected things, and the money goes for a good cause. It's Friday. Go to her channel, you can see it. But you guys see, look, even more painted papers on the outside. I'm like painted paper ridiculous, I think. We love Meri. She's awesome. If it wasn't for Meri, you guys, I was working so much that I had basically stopped streaming. And thanks, Aunt Beck. And Meri reached out to me and asked me if I'd do something or if I wanted to be in something. And I did it. And I have to tell you, it kept me in. If it wasn't for Meri, I probably wouldn't even be doing it. Although I'm not doing what I did in the past, I wouldn't be doing any of it. So I owe Meri a big vote of gratitude. I think it's going to be Friday from noon to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And you guys, I'm getting rid of a lot of really good stuff because I can take 0 with me. You feel the same way, Epic? Meri is such a community builder, and she's so kind and so modest, an amazing artist. Her portraits are amazing. I loved how she, went through her thing and says, well, my cat, I have to work on that. Meri does not. I don't even think she knows how good she is. She's an amazing artist. Yeah, you've been fighting getting swallowed up in the moving mess. It's kind of hard, right? I'm happy to see you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And, please like and subscribe to everybody that was in the hop. So many people right now could really use an extra boost. Moving is all consuming. Oh, and Becca, I can't even tell you. I can tell you because I'm just like over it. I hope I see you, Jamie. Right? She is a community builder, Kathy. I totally agree. I love her. It's like Nana saying she moves successfully. I can. You guys, I can't take anything with me. Living in Hawaii, it's ridiculously expensive to ship anything. I am just I'm trying to let it all go. Trying to let it all go. It's hard though, because some of it that you've lovingly collected is like precious, to you. And it's not anything of any real monetary value. I mean, you know what I mean? It's nothing of any monetary value. Nana, we are moving back to the East Coast. My partner's dad has a form of dementia that you get from, oh gosh, you guys, like vascular dementia. Can someone hold it for me? Artie Dar in Hawaii. People don't craft like here on the mainland. If you love something, set it free. Oh, girls, I'm telling you, I'm loving it up. Thanks, Norma. Yeah, we're moving back to the East Coast. Northern Virginia is where my father-in-law lives. So he has vascular dementia, and he called my partner not that long ago, and he knows it. The difficult thing is, and if any of you have ever experienced this, thank you, Sharon. If any of you have ever experienced this, a person with dementia doesn't know they have dementia. He does not know that he has dementia. So he thinks that we all think that he's crazy. So it's a whole thing. I mean, it's a humbling experience because he's a kind, generous, loving, caring person. And he called and said, I need you to my partner. And, he has to go. Oh, thank you, Laura. I need the prayers. I appreciate it. Well, maybe not in the latter stages, Kathy, but he's not there yet. You lost your mother-in-law, and she had it too. Yeah. You're going through it too, Beck? Oh, no. Well, all I can tell you is right now, we're just trying to have as much fun with him as we can. And he's completely, not totally all the way there all the time, but he's, he and my partner went and played golf today, and they went on a hike. He went and looked at a house for us. He went with my partner to go and look at a house, and he was giving me tips and tricks about planting a garden. I haven't read Barb's book. I have it on my Kindle, but I haven't read it yet. I got it on my Kindle. I haven't done it. Scott's mother forgets things and you have to repeat it a lot. Yeah, I get it. My father-in-law isn't quite there. He is in some ways, but they just took his driver's license away. He got lost. He's a big outdoorsman, and he's very active and very fit. He got lost in the woods for 4 hours. It was I know it's not funny. I'm only laughing because he got lost and he didn't take his phone. And then, it was one of those things people were there with him, but one of them left really early and one of them left later. And the one that left early thought he was there with the one that was later. And the one that was later thought he left with the one that was early. So nobody knew he was gone. So it is hard. The licensing thing was a big deal. It was a big deal. Thank you, guys. Good night, Tanya. Big hugs, girl. Your mom has it too, and it's getting really bad. Well, we just look at it this way. While he still knows who we all are, and while he is still, you have to tell him you need to take a shower, you need to change your clothes or that stuff up, right? Oh no, that's why you broke up, Laura. Oof. Well, I'm glad I didn't have that. Yeah, so hey, crafty kitty. No, it's today he got up and my partner goes, okay, there's an opening. I need to tell him he needs to take a shower. I said, instead of telling him to take a shower, say, hey, Dad, get in the shower. Give me those clothes. I'm doing laundry. He calls me back and he goes, that was a great suggestion. And he said, I don't have enough to do laundry. So, so he did it. Hey, Lynn. Well, you guys head on over to Meri. Meri is going to end I know our hop is officially done, but if you head on over, she's going to craft into the wee hours of the morning, because not only is she a community builder, Meri has stamina like nobody I have ever seen. I need some of Meri's mojo. I need Meri's mojo so that I can just get through it. And if you guys are looking for any cool treasures, come Friday from 12 to 5 over at Carehart's channel and collect some of my treasures. It'll make me feel better. It'll make me feel better that they're going to a good home and the money goes for a good cause. Meri does have a special formula. She does, and she really brings people together. She brings people together, and she's the bomb.com. And talented beyond talented. Okay? Will somebody put Care's link in the description box so that people can, put it in the chat so people can save it for Friday? Will one of you guys do it? Yeah. So, I don't know, wallpaper. I have all kinds of stuff, you guys. Cabinet card albums, stuff I've been having collected for a long time. Right, Julie? Meri is, right? She's talented, community building, loving, caring, kind. Big hugs, Norma. Hopefully, I had kind of hoped to getting back to streaming a couple times a week, but with this impending move, it hasn't been. Oh my gosh, it's been ridiculous. But hopefully. Oh, I'm so happy you're here, Barb. Barb, thank you for joining us. I loved what you made, and I loved it. It was great. Oh, guess what? The Jersey Crafter. Okay, Jersey just put in Care's channel. Jersey Crafter is going to be doing a virtual Thanksgiving dinner. What time is it, Laura? What time is your virtual Thanksgiving dinner? Oh, Barb, 4 p.m. Eastern is Jersey's virtual Thanksgiving dinner, and everyone's invited. So if you guys are alone or you just want to hang out and have some laughs, go to her channel, The Jersey Crafter. She's right there in the chat. You have to like, subscribe, and whatever, hit the notification bell so you get it. And it'll be 4 o'clock Eastern on Thanksgiving Day. And she is going to have a virtual Thanksgiving. I'm going to come, even though I'm cooking my own Thanksgiving, I'm coming. I got to come and hang out with you guys. All right, Meri's on. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Laura, put the link for your channel in there too, because I'm going to leave the chat up. So if anybody watches this later, they can have your channel. So make sure you put it in there, right? Norma, isn't that so sweet? Thanks, you guys, for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And thank you, or thumbs down. And thanks for hanging out with me. I know. Barb also, other thing. On Barb Owen's channel, she is doing a creative challenge. Go over and check it out and see if you guys want to join in and be challenged to be creative. Oh, hi, Ange. How are you, girl? Yeah, but you know what's exciting? Okay, in the midst of all the moving thing and trying to find a place and da-da-da-da-da, I'm going to be closer to all of you. I think I am like 4 hours from New York City. So that means I could go to the farm. I could invite myself. to the farm. I could invite myself to your house, Laura. I just show up with all my crap, all my painty papers, my stuff, my sleeping bag. I will come visit you. Yes. I'm kind of excited because you know what it's going to be like so much fun is that I think what I'm going to do, hopefully when this pandemic is totally over, I'm just going to I'm going to get either a little camper or something, and I'm just going to go craft with my favorite peeps. Show up at Barb's house, invite myself. I'll show up at Jersey's house. I'll go visit Branson. Maybe I'll swing by and see Meri. It'll be a different kind of road show. It'll be craft and chat. I'll come, Nana. Are you kidding? I would totally come and do it. I would love it. Nothing would make me happier. You guys have lifted me up. You'll come. Oh my God, Kathy Berg. Okay, you guys have to go to Kathy Berg's channel. It's Kathy with a K, Berg. I have craft room envy. You have to go look at her craft room. Between her and Barb Owen, forget it. I'm like, Painty Papers on the road. Yes. Yes, Laura, Painty Papers on the road. You're moving everything around today? Oh, Kathy. Oh my God, please. No. Well, I love you guys so much. Right? It would be a great series. Painty Papers on the road. You guys, I'm gonna do it. We got to get rid of the Rona. The Rona's gone. I'm in. Why are you moving everything around, Kathy? Why are you moving? Okay, Deb, I will. Deb, where do you live? Bye, Cindy. Where do you live, Deb? Just making it more fun. Well, that was so funny today. So I know some of you are heading over to Mary's, and she's going to be on for hours, but I'll talk to some of you a little bit longer. Lynn says if 2020 were a drink, it'd be a colonoscopy prep. It feels like that. I'm totally. You live south of St. Louis? Oh, definitely. Because Barb lives in the Midwest too. So I'm coming too. So today, my hottie, he's like, I'm virtually house hunting with him, right? So he's like taking me around, and then he goes, look, he's like, the realtor's with him and his dad. And then so he's like, okay, here's this bedroom and that bedroom. And he goes, and here's your craft room. And the realtor goes, what? And he goes, oh no. And he goes, I don't know if it's big enough. And he's like marking out with his feet how big the room is. He's like, I don't know. Maybe he goes, maybe we need a house that has a little bit bigger of a craft room. I was like, he was looking for my craft room. I know, right, Jane? Because we've all been together for all these years. It'll be so fun. It will be so fun. I love him too. Laura, he's been so great. I have to tell you, he's like, he can't cook. Okay. He tries. I hope he doesn't listen to this. Anyway, he can't really cook, but he tries. So I could do all the cooking. He can do a lot of other things. He cleans way better than I do. Like if I cook, he'll clean. So he's like calling me up. He's making something for his dad. And he's like, I'm going to make this. I'm going to make that. He's like, it was so funny. Yes, I can have a road trip to see Deb, Norma, and Barb. I have to see you, Barb. And if Barb at some point is going to have a retreat in California, and when she does, I'm going to be there. You're quieter in person, Angie. Oh, I'm not. Okay. What you see is what you get here. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get with me. I am as messy as my Painty Papers. That's just me. I'm not quiet either. Shocker, shocker, Laura. Laura's like, I'm not quiet either. Shocker. No. So he's like, I'm cooking virtually with him. So like he calls me, I'm going to make your cheater chili. And I'm like laughing. Same sense of humor though, right? You guys, you have to laugh at yourself. I laugh at, if I told you my life lately, all I could do is laugh because it's that ridiculous. So it's like, so how do I, what do I do making cheater chili? You have no craft soulmate locally? Neither do I. If I had somebody here that I could pass my stuff on to, you guys, I would gladly do it. There is no one. The only thing I can figure is there's a school, and I'm going to see, because you guys, this is just my fun dabbling. I have huge glass kilns. I used to make all kinds of glass fired work, metal smithing work. I have all kinds of tools that I just can't take with me. And there's nobody to give them to. You either laugh or cry. You choose to laugh. I'm right there with you. Amen, Linwood. You couldn't cut up the chenille bedspread? Oh no. What are you making with the chenille? You guys, I have not been able to be online at all right now because of trying to purge and whatever. What are you making with the chenille bedspread, Laura? Lynn says, thank you for not cutting it. Where did you buy the chenille bedspread? Did you buy it from Johnny or somebody that had like some fabulous things? Oh my gosh, it was all I could do the other day. Erin had a sale. Oh my God. Did you see how cheap everything she was selling went? And I had to turn it off because she had all these vintage linens and she was selling them like for $5 each, these beautiful tablecloths. I was like, oh, I can't watch. I can't watch. You bought it at a yard sale with Cole? Oh, great, Laura. Erin had the most amazing sale the other day. It was amazing. And I had to turn away because I couldn't watch. You guys, I made these really, really big, like huge big, and put them on the top of everybody's presents a couple of years ago. I made them like, I had some, guys, I've worked so many crazy jobs here in Hawaii because not all, anyway, there's lots of opportunity if you're willing to work. And one of them was a company that used to ship big things and receive big shipments of when people are moving here or, lots of really rich people. And they had these huge pieces of brown paper and also kind of like a newsprint paper, but thicker that they would unwrap things. And they were huge, like 5 and 6 and 7 feet long by the same height or even bigger. And so I took those and made it. Everybody had these on the top of their package. Can you see it? But I mean, in big form, like, and some of them I drew on and some of them I wrote on, and they actually look cool on your Christmas tree too. So after I made the flowers, I put them on the Christmas tree. And I've sewed them together as garland before too. If you do it when they're flat, so you could sew them on ribbon too, but it works good. Hey, Debbie. You love these flowers. I wish you guys, I have a whole box of them somewhere. I was looking for them to show you guys, but I don't know. I make, you know what makes really good flowers? You guys are going to laugh. The Costco flyer. That makes really good flowers. Right? The garland thing. It works good, Lynn. I made it with, what I did was I just sewed the center of it to a piece of yarn. So I just sewed it and then, and then sewed it to another piece of yarn because the yarn was thick enough to hold it up. Whereas the one that I did that was right here, this one you can just run it through your sewing machine and just, let the threads be your garland. But for the flowers, because they can get, if you paint a lot on them or depending upon the weight of your paper. So I just put a stitch in the center. Here, let me see if I can hold it down. You guys can see it. Let's see. I don't know if you can see. So you can see it in the back. Just has a stitch in the center. Oh, Ange, I'm so sorry. Prayers, girl. Kiesha's next sale, you're putting blinders on too? Ooh, I have to. Yeah, it is a happy flower. Oh, I'm sorry, Ange. Big love. You know what, Janice? Here, they throw everything away. They throw it away. I have been destashing since we knew we were moving. I've been destashing. And because of the pandemic, everyone is overrun with donations. People were home for so long and just were home looking at their stuff and destashing. So you drive up to the thrift store and they'll be totally picky. Like I told you about the day my partner went to take, I don't know what he took. He took a bunch of stuff. Who knows? Books, clothes, whatever. And I had told him I wanted a folding table. And he was like, okay. So he had gone to like Walmart, Target, whatever, Costco, and they were out of folding tables. And he was standing in line at Goodwill. And he was, this lady in front of him was trying to donate two really big, heavy duty tables. And they go, no, we don't take that. So he said, I will. So he donated and brought home a table. Chance does not have a crown. It's true. See, the thrift stores, they're taking donations, but they're opening so infrequently that it's, and we don't have very many people here that would buy it. So it's kind of like a weird space. Yeah, you could totally put a button in the center. You could put a button in the center. I have those little brads. I just don't know where they are. If I could have found them, I'd have showed them to you. You just poke a hole and put a brad in the center of it. He thinks he has a crown. Oh, I'm praying for a mild case 2-inch. I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry. Yeah, this year for Christmas, I am only making one gift. The rest of them, they're all just getting gift cards. I'm making one gift. Maybe two. Maybe I'll make my hottie something, but that's it. Oh, I'm glad you talk to him every day. I hear you, Deb. You better be safe than sorry, right? And we're so glad you're hanging out with us. So the only one thing I'm going to make is I'm going to make a t-shirt quilt for my 14-year-old because in going through all her clothes, she's outgrown so many things. She's got really fun t-shirts that she loved. So that's my goal. I may not get to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. And everybody else is getting a gift card or money. I'm just maybe a handmade card. I just can't do it. Mm. Lynn, I don't know what shortages we have because we aren't doing. I ordered all my paper products on Amazon months ago, so I'm totally stocked up for the moment. Um, and we buy, you know, when it first happened, we were seeing shortages of meat and things like that because shipments were being delayed. But I haven't seen anything now. But we sort of live frugally, like we're not because we don't have any storage space and our house is small. We don't. Do you know what I mean? We don't have a place to put it all. So luckily, so far, we haven't seen it, but it doesn't mean that we won't. Lettuce. Your friend in Weiss says lettuce is shortage only locally grown ramen. Well, we're lucky because there are farmers markets here, so you can go and buy that sort of thing. Yeah, I told my kids, yeah, I don't want anything. I definitely need nothing. Need zero. Aw, your daughter actually asked you to make her something, Laura? Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, you're really, Barb? Race asked you to make Isabel a Christmas stocking? Oh, that's so nice. Mary Lou, you and I are on the same page. You know, we're not on lockdown right now. We do have people here, people coming, which kind of worries me because what they don't realize is we don't have an infrastructure to handle any real illnesses. We have 150,000 full-time residents on the 3 islands that are considered my county, and we have 60 hospital beds total. That's 30 ICU beds and 30 regular beds. That's it. Oh, you spoke for hours on FaceTime? Oh. Oh, Laura, that's so awesome. That is so awesome. I know, right? Me, I'm sneezing. You guys, okay, so I've been cleaning out the tiny crevices of my home because when you live in a small house, you have everything stored in all kinds of various places, right? Finding stuff that I'd forgotten I had and whatever. But because all the doors and windows are always open here, because we have no air conditioning or whatever, and you need everything open, it's dusty. So I have been vacuuming, dusting, purging. It's been ridiculous. You got you 10 p.m. curfew. They have closed. Like there's a lot of restaurants and bars that are not open. They make it mandatory to wear a mask at all times and any time in public, period, whether you're outside or inside, and to maintain social distancing. Deb says the last time she made gifts, she made 15 Western shirts and 10 crocheted tops. Nevermore. I hear you, girl. Hey, when you get it down, Laura, let me know because I'm still learning that. Adulting, mothering an adult child is, yeah, you kind of like have to, it's like a fine, it's like a walking the line between like friend and confidant. And then when they need you to be the mom, it's hard. Oh, that's so cool, Laura. I can't wait to see what you make. We do have more tests that you can have done here, but um, it's not. I mean, most because they're requiring. Many people are requiring um, tests before you, so you don't have to quarantine when you go. So people are coming here. You have to have a negative COVID test to come here, so that you don't quarantine. So you don't have to quarantine. You have to have the results in your hand, or they send you back on a plane. And um, many states are requiring a negative COVID test to come back in without having to quarantine. So that's where all of our stuff is going. Yeah, my hottie worked a job not that long ago, and they were COVID testing people 3 times a week. And so that was kind of extreme, but they were COVID testing people 3 times a week. It was only temporary. It was only like, I don't know, 10 weeks or 12 weeks, the job, but it's a lot of COVID tests, right? And she says that they can test at a drugstore, but you have to fill out long forms online first. At least you have testing. Yeah, that's so true. Jane says it's a standard 14-day quarantine of traveling outside Canada. I don't blame you. Well, we heard that they're going to let Canadians come here now, and I was like, wow, that if you show up with a negative COVID test by a certain provider system, I'm not so up on all of it. Well, that's good, Deb. I mean, that's super good. See, there's a couple different kind of COVID tests that you can get here. There's a COVID test that you can get if you're a local person, but it's not the same as a COVID test, a travel COVID test, which is called a PCR or I can't. Anyway, for a travel test, you have to go to a different place. You have to go and yeah, it's a whole thing. You have 3 kinds of tests. Well, they have a rapid test, which I don't know about where you guys are, but they're saying here that they're not 100% accurate. And then they have a regular COVID test, which isn't rapid, and then they have a travel COVID test. So I really don't know what the difference between all three of them are, but yeah, the testings drive through here too, Lynn. Yeah, I think the rapid tests, they give you the results in less than an hour. Oh, I wanted to tell anybody that's here. Tomorrow is a pop-up jewelry auction for Defy. I think at noon tomorrow. Uh, Laura, I'll make you even sadder. So Laura's saying this virus is so strange because her mom has a friend in their 70s who was doing cancer treatment and got COVID and recovered, and then somebody in their 50s got COVID and passed. There is somebody in one of our crafting groups whose son died and he was 30. And I don't think he had any pre-existing conditions. They went to a family reunion or a birthday party with a small amount of people. He got COVID. I think they all tested positive after that. I don't know exactly, can't remember who was the carrier. And he didn't feel well, and his wife was just trying to get him to get up, and he said, "Let me just lay down a little longer," and he died in his sleep. He was 30, I think he was 32. Oh no. Oh, Lynn, prayers. I get sad sometimes going into our groups because somebody is always like, it's like prayers for this person, prayers for that. And of course, we all will say prayers for whomever anybody needs that boost and prayers. But, it's like, it's like roulette or something. Aw, good night, Lynn. Hang in there. Prayers and love to you too, girl. Laura, I'm so happy that you got to have a long conversation with your sweet girl. That's so good. Yeah, mothering adult children is not, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm telling you, I struggle because sometimes like they're all about wanting your help or your advice, and then other times you give your advice and they're like, I didn't, whatever they asked for it, you tell them they didn't want to hear it. It's one of those things. Oh, I bet. Yeah, it is awesome. Deb, we were all sick here. I didn't get sick, but everybody, and my partner never gets sick. He got sick in January. Now that was before any of us really knew, right? He, him, my young daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law, and my daughter, and they were all really sick. And my other daughter got sick too. I didn't get anything. We don't know if that's what they had because back then nobody knew anything, right? In January. But I can just tell you this, that if they didn't have it, they were all so sick for so long, then whatever they had was bad, you know? My son-in-law made me iced coffee, you guys. It's iced coffee with coconut milk. He's so sweet. Yeah, Deb, better be safe than sorry. Yeah. Yeah, whatever we got or my family got came from our youngest. She got it, at school. Your son-in-law was sick with 2 flus in January. Did he get did I don't even know, are they even giving antibody tests? I just don't think we don't have them here yet, Deb, or they haven't been offered. I mean, it hasn't been anything like where you could go and now you can go get a COVID test, but you can't, like I called I called it last week to get my daughter that's 14. Her dad lives on the mainland and he wanted her to come see him. And it's ridiculous at this time of the year. And right now, we won't even get into that. And most places were only testing symptomatic people. So he's never called back to test for the antibodies. Ugh. Oh, Laura, you don't even want to. Yeah, on top of all the other stuff, it's beyond ridiculous. Deb, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could call and find out. But then I'm hearing that some people get it again. I mean, some people that have had it supposedly tested positive are getting it again. So I don't know if that's like real. Yeah, I don't, because everybody was sick in January, or I wasn't, but they were all sick in January. I don't know because you guys, the flu goes around here. You have to realize we're like a worldwide destination. So people come from all over the world here. So, it's easy to get the flu. Yeah, that's a fact. Nana's saying it's a fact. Some people are infected twice. Well, no, we don't have enough. We're not educated about it. We need to know more, you know? I certainly don't know enough about it. I just know that I try to stay home. I agree with you, Deb. I'm not telling you not to do it. I think you should do it. I think you should. I haven't gone to be tested because honestly, I don't go anywhere. I don't leave my house except to go to like grocery shopping back, and I take every precaution that I can, and that's it. Grocery shopping, home. That is it. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to live with it hanging over me either. Yeah, Nana says that we won't have an understanding of how the hows and whys for at least a year. I agree with you. You could Mary Lou says she can only go buy food and make meals for your dad. He's lucky he has you. That's your third test? Oh my gosh, Deb, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they can be positive and asymptomatic and still spread. Yeah. You guys, I'm going 0 places. 0. And there's all these tourists here now. I'm definitely not going anywhere. I was going to get something the other day at the drugstore, something my little youngest daughter needed, and there was so many people in there I couldn't even go in. I didn't go in. You got to see your new grandbaby? Oh, Mary Lou, that's such good news. You're okay in Norway? Ah, thank goodness. Thank goodness somebody's good. Well, Deb, I'm glad. I mean, I'm sorry you're having to do it 3 times, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, no, Laura, I was supposed to I told you guys my youngest daughter has scoliosis, and we were supposed to go for our annual test, a checkup, and on Oahu, and the doctor's office called and canceled her. He said, um, "Let's make it after the new year because the cases are increasing there." And I was grateful because I was like, Oh, I know you're not complaining, girl. Nobody thinks you're complaining. Prayers for you. We want it to be done. Janie, you're in the middle of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's freezing there, girl. My coworkers, his grandparents were from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He used to tell me as a kid, he used to travel there, and he lived in California, and he said, "I was like, oh, so cold." Right? Thankful to have the junk to craft with to keep you occupied. Well, my occupation right now is destashing. Yeah, it does sound pretty. I agree with you, Nana. It does sound pretty safe. Sounds very safe. Yeah, I don't blame you. Take the chance. Girl, we are like at our house, my son-in-law and my daughter and my son-in-law just worked on a television show, and she was the COVID compliance person that checked everybody, and they have more hand sanitizer. Oh my god, they mask every second with if they leave our house. We had a repairman come to fix our refrigerator, and everybody put a mask on when he got here. And the moment he left, my daughter, like, she's got a whole antiseptic solution going on. She sprayed everything, touched that he touched, got near it. I don't blame you. I wouldn't take any chances. It's right now is a really scary time for all of us. You know. So if you make these, you could do them double sided too. I just didn't on this one because it was just an example. But you could glue two of your painting papers together, and then sew it so that it would be both sides. Oh, they require you to mask indoor here, but now they're requiring you to mask outdoor. And I'm sure that is hampering some people's beach vacations because they're fining people. So I don't know how. I haven't been to the beach, so I don't know if they're like making people sitting on the beach, but I'm assuming they are. The garland's kind of fun. Like I've made it so many times, and I made it like put it on the front of a package, like the gift wrap, like instead of putting yarn or whatever or twine. I've made it like a banner. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff with this. You spent the entire hop making an Amazon catalog into a Christmas glue book. Good for you. Nothing lives outdoors where you are. Oh, that's good. No, Nana, you know what it is? It's like you go to buy things are really expensive here. So like you go to buy what would normally be like a couple dollars on the mainland. So say a roll of wrapping paper. It'll be like $8 here. And then you're like, okay, well, so say you pay $10 for the gift, and then that wrapping paper costs you 8. You're not going to spend another, $5 on a ribbon, and and then most people just throw it away anyway. I made the flower here, but it's so easy. Deb, all you have to do is this. I'll show you. Let me just see. I'm gonna move my iced coffee. They're so sweet because I said, you guys, I'm fading. My son-in-law's like, I'll make you some coffee. Let me see if I have a paper. Okay, here, let's make it out of this one. Okay. This is just a magazine page I painted. Okay. I can't sew it, but I can show you how, because my sewing machine's in the other room. But I can show you. All right, so all I did was, I think it works best with at least 8 circles. Okay. But you make as many as you want. And they need to be various sizes. So this is what I do. And I didn't make mine circular because I was trying to use up more of the paper. And you could also make them, I've also made them where you cut them all different things. I have another one, I'll make one like that. I think they come out better that way. Now, if you have a punch, you can do the same thing with a punch. You could do them all uniformed. I just didn't. It just depends upon you. It totally, completely depends upon you. Did you guys not love Lisa's glue books? They were so amazing. Oh, sometimes I see other people's artwork and I'm like, why am I making art? You guys know what I mean. You're like, that was like super amazing. Thinking of crafting with all of you guys is making it much easier for me to think about living in the cold weather. Oh, we were all laughing. They were all laughing at me today. They were like, yeah, we don't think you're going to do well in the cold weather. I'm like, shut up. Let me see. Okay, that one. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see how many more. Let's say 5, 6. Six. Yeah, these are going to have to be like, let's see, 7, 8. Now, you know, ideally, the more pages that you put in it, the fatter, fuller, more full it's going to look. You can make it with less, but I think it looks better with more. That's just me, though. Maybe I'll make 2 small ones out of this. Now, I just took it to my sewing machine, but let me see if I don't know if I have a needle and thread over here, but I'll find something. Or you can do, if you have a staple, you can staple it. If you have a brad, you can just put a brad through it. I just don't have that here. Okay, so you're going to line them all up, and they don't have to all be in the same place because you're going to crunch them all up. So they don't even have to be together. Here, let me see. I don't know if I can put it through this. I can just poke a hole. Let me see, where's my pokey tool? There's a pokey tool. Guys, this is what I get for, oh, here, I have Japanese book punch. Okay. And you can do these with magazine pages without even doing anything else. Okay, so hang on. So I'm gonna punch 2 holes in this one. Now, if you had a brad, you could stick a brad through it, but I don't have a brad, so I'm gonna punch 2 holes so that I can string a piece of thread or something through it. All right, let's see, did it go all the way through? Of course not, because it's just how my life rolls. Hang on one second, I'll be right back. Now I have my pokey tool over here. Okay, I have some thread too. All right. Okay, I have a pokey tool. So I poked 2 holes in it. So I'm just going to see if I can make sure my holes are. You don't have to do 2 holes, but if you're just going to thread it, or if you're going to put a button in the middle of it, it'd be better if you had more than 1 hole. Okay. So this has got 2 holes. I don't even have a needle. This is like, I'm like a doofus. It's like, yes, let's sit down at our crafting table with no needle. I was binding some journals in the other room, watching television with my kid. She was watching some anime thing, which, guys, I'm not a big fan of anime. Okay, so if you had a sewing machine, you could go to a sewing machine. Guys, I'm going to turn Facebook off. It just keeps dinging. I don't have a sewing machine here, so I'm going to just thread it. I mean, I do in the other room, but I got a needle. Much better. Right now, I'm just going to try to poke it through the holes this way. So I can pick it through. Okay, I got one through there. Let's put the other one. Is it cold where you guys are now? It's getting cold and wintry here for us. Not that it's cold, but it gets rainy during the winter here, which is fine with me because we've had a drought, but I'm sure for the people visiting, they're not liking it. I would suggest that you get a needle, but I just don't have one over here. I usually have everything on my desk, but I'm cleaning it off. I'm going through my stuff, trying to get ready for Friday's sale with care, and I'm making packs and packs of stuff that I collected. If you had a needle, it would go much faster. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it in the back. And the other one I just sewed, or you could put a brad through it, but I'm just tying this one just so that it stays together. This is the back. Okay, so here's what you have, right? And then all you do is you take it and crunch them up like this. And I know you're going to go like, what? And you crunch them up. Just get it going. One on top of the other. On top of the other. You can do this with tissue paper too, you guys. It works great with tissue paper. And if you have, you got to let it dry though if you're going to spray it with, works better if you're going to spray it. You know what I mean? Spray it with food coloring or spray it with your inks or glimmer mist or whatever you have. And don't worry that it's not perfect because it'll look good no matter what. It will look good no matter what. I'm going to crunch them all up. Okay. And then you open it back up. And that is it, girls. And you can make them out of big brown paper bags. You can make them out of newsprint. You can make them out of newspaper. You can make them out of anything. It's not, and they don't have to be, you could do them all even if you do them all the same circle, they still are puffy. They just look more like pom-poms. Like they look like flowers, but they're just, now I made them where I freehand cut every single layer different, like with raggy edges, like flowers, and they come out great too. I'm not done with magazines, not painted papers. There you go. There you go. Cool, yeah? It's in the 40s where you are right now? Romeo came in and said, are you still crafting? Aw. Scissors across her. Well, no, Deb, you know what it is I was like, I'm trying to like get all this stuff ready and I've taken everything, put it in the garage. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, make them with book pages. I made them with, but that red one, wherever I put it, this one's book pages. This is like some decent Reader's Digest, a newer Reader's Digest that I just, was part of my jelly print roll off. I was doing some jelly printing and then I just have roll off pages. It's kind of cool is if you wanted to mail it to somebody, if you wanted to send it in Happy Mail, you can mail it flat and then just tell them to scrunch it up. But I've made a whole bouquet of these. I made a whole bouquet for a friend that was getting married, you know, for her, you know, what is it called? Rehearsal dinner. I made a whole bouquet for a friend's rehearsal dinner. And she said, oh, I should just use these for my wedding. It's like, yeah, just use some book page flowers for your wedding. But do you see, like, they come out good no matter what you do. You can't mess it up. You cannot mess it up. You cannot get it wrong. Well, I put them on the front of packages. I put them on. I made a couple years ago. I made all the teachers. I try to make when she was going to school, food like brownies or whatever, you know. And then I put a flower. Like I made these little flowers and tied them around. I did them with yarn just like this and tied it around. You know, made it like a card. And you're back. Nice to see you back. So now you see it. So those are my Reader's Digest magazines. And you don't even need to paint them. If you get some magazines, I've made them out of Costco flyers. You have a lot of rain in Norway right now? Whew. And you had some snow already? Oh, no. Oh, Deb. Well, I decided I'm going to take some of my spray inks. I'm going to take that. I have some really nice, really good paintbrushes. I'm going to take those. I have brushos. I'm going to take those. I'm going to put those, like things that I can pack in a suitcase. I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to take my die cutting machine. I may leave it behind or let it go. I don't know. I have so much more than just what you guys see. I have 2 glass kilns I have to let go of. I have a huge rolling mill to roll metal. I have all kinds of tools and stuff. It's just, yeah. I think if my hottie had his way, we'd already be there, but it's like, it isn't going to happen. I don't see us being able to be done and being able to really be done. And plus my daughter's in school. So my goal is she gets out of school in June. My goal is to be done by June, but I would like to have a house. So while he's there visiting his dad before he brings his dad back, we're trying to find a house. We thought we found one. I really loved it. And it just needed more work than we could do. You got 100 household boxes. So the only thing I'm going to take with me that type wise is my grandmother's quilts. I have a couple of old handmade wooden bowls that were given to me by my dad that I brought with me when I moved here almost 11 years ago. So my grandmother's quilt, the wooden bowl. I have like a couple of pots and pans that I want to take. That's really it. You know, my jewelry, obviously, and I don't even know. So yeah, it's sort of daunting, but at the same time, it's actually like freeing because what did I do the other day? I took a bunch of stuff I did 2 thrift there. There's a little church near us that has a thrift store, and they cleaned out everything for COVID, and but they don't take everything. So I took like some lamps. I took some kitchen stuff. I mean, obviously not what we're using, but I took, some towels and sheets. I took when you're letting go of your whole entire house. I took some books. I did. I took like 6 huge boxes of books, and I didn't even make a dent, you guys. It's sad, right? But that's okay because I know what's gonna happen. I'll get to the mainland, and I will suddenly have a plethora of craft supplies. Oh, it's totally free. I took 2 carloads to the thrift store, and I've already taken prior to that, my hottie took a number of, like, he took a bed and a dresser. He took to a friend that needed one. He took some stuff, a bed, dresser, some curtains. Good night, Barb. Big hugs, lots of love. Love you, girl. Love, 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 love you. You stay safe. Big hugs. So I'm excited about the prospect of coming to craft with all of you. I'm totally gonna do it. That's gonna be on my. There's not a lot of. I've traveled a lot of different places. There are still a few places on my bucket list that I would like to go, even if I've been there before. Like I'd like to go with my partner. Like I would like to go back to Italy with my partner and go to Florence and go to some museums. Your husband calls your basement Hobby Lobby. That could be a little one. Oh, Deb, I love it. Um, and I would like there's some places that I would still like. I would like to go there with him. I think I would love to go to Paris with him. We were supposed to go last year or the year before. I can't remember. Whenever he turned 50, we were supposed to go. And I can't remember. Like I was working and couldn't get off, or I don't remember. So we didn't go. So it's like been on our bucket list. Plus, we had kids in college. So you guys know what that's like. It's like planning a big trip like that when you have kids in college is like, it's not practical. So financially practical. You get my point, right? So we were supposed to go then. So those are a few places I'd like to go that I've been before, but I'd like to go with him. But truthfully, outside of that, and just primarily because I would like to go with him, that's really it. The rest of it would be just coming to craft with you guys. That would be like more on my bucket list of things that I would love to do than anything. Isn't that fun or ridiculous? I'm sure somebody watching this is going to go like, "What? You would give up traveling just to go and hang out with all your crafty peeps?" You know what, Deb? My sister lived in St. Louis. I have a younger sister, and um, her husband he still works for BMW of North America, and they got transferred to St. Louis. My sister lived there for I don't know 3 years, and I used to go 2 or 3 times a year. Isn't that crazy? And then she just left. Christy Biddleson lives in North Carolina, and my sister just moved from there to Northern California, like in July. Got transferred to Northern California. Do you think it's a wonderful post-COVID journey? Well, it gives me something to look forward to, Nana. It's giving me something to look forward to. I want to go craft with Dawn from Let's Make a Mess. I love her in Oregon. There's some crafting mamas that live up there too. Guys, I have to tell you, Hawaii, things get like weird. Like this plastic on this thing is like gummy. It's weird. And I've had this thing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. It could be also, well, I should preface it, it could be glue. I never came to Deb. If I had known you, girl, I'd have come to see you. I have to say, it is a little bit exciting looking for a house. Exciting and also daunting. Like, you don't know if you're like, because you're not, well, I guess now that he's there, it's easier, but when he wasn't there and we were looking online. It was not, I don't know. I've met people that have bought homes online. Have you? Yes, God knows we all need something to look forward to, right? I definitely do, Nana. I need something to, I'm going to be so excited to come and hang out with you guys. It's going to make me so excited. And then what'll make me even more excited is I got to get a better camera. But I'll do my camera setup and come and craft with everybody, and we'll film it and put it online. It'll be fun. Everybody can come craft too. You'd be terrified to buy a home online? Debbie. Well, we have a really good realtor, and he's super, like, he's so amazing. Like this house that we looked at this morning, my father-in-law thinks we should buy it. And what's so funny is that even though he has this sort of dementia sort of thing, he was always a really good property investor. Okay. He has a really good eye for things. And so I found this house. I have this weird, everybody has their superpower. Well, my superpower is finding weird things. Okay. Or finding like, what did I tell my hottie the other day? I found some recipe for something. He goes, "Where'd you find it?" I go, "I don't know." He goes, "How did you find it?" I go, "I don't know." He knows that's how I work, right? So I found this house, and so I sent my partner, I said, "Hey, call the realtor, see if you can go see it." And he went to see it. And it's a really old farmhouse built in 1903, but it's in town. It's not out of town. But in town, but it's on a half an acre in town, and it's flat. And I don't know if you guys, Northern Virginia is really hilly, right? It's very, it's mountainous, right? So it's got a half an acre of flat land because I said I want a vegetable garden. So my father-in-law's like, "If you don't buy it, I'll buy it." And she says she's been where she lives for 54 years. Wow, the town. It's the only place you've been. It's California for a month, but that was a vacation. And where do you live? Tell me where you live. An old farmhouse, right? So I like it. It does have some weird quirks to it. And I just want to make sure before we jump into getting something like that, that he's all into fixing the stuff. I mean, I'll help, but I can't do it. North Deb, near north in Northern Virginia, near DC, the suburbs of DC, out that way. Like, I don't know how far it is from the center of DC. 45 minutes, an hour. It's about four. It's about 4 hours from New York City. Yes, buying an old farmhouse is buying a lifestyle. I totally know it, Laura. That's why I want to make sure he's into it because if he isn't, first of all, let's be real. There's nothing new around there. Okay. Where we're looking, there's nothing new. Okay. 1930s is considered new. Okay. The one I was looking at before this, it was like the part of the house was built in 1900 and the other part was built in 1930. And where do you live? You're in Falls Church? Have you been in Falls Church? Well, it's old. I think the part of me that likes it is that the town itself is super quaint and you can walk everywhere from this house. Okay. So it's like walking distance to everything. So your nephew's in Arlington? It's not that far from Arlington. I don't know. It's probably half an hour from Arlington. I don't know. So we saw that one. And then the realtor, because I had been looking at this other house before, he said, "Let me just take you to this one." And he took us to a second house. Okay. The second house, I don't know when it was built. But the second house has a storefront and it has 3 apartments. So, but it doesn't have any land. And then, but my hottie's gonna go back on Tuesday or Wednesday and see other things. I didn't get to tell you guys the best part. Okay, so my hottie's mother lives in like hoity-toity Virginia. She lives in Manassas, Virginia, which is like, like expensive Virginia. And so she is moving to Florida. She had she had an aortic aneurysm. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. And she had surgery maybe a year ago and decided that she was not going to she didn't want to live. You live in Tennessee? I love Tennessee, Ange. I love Tennessee. I've been many times. Love, love, love it. In fact, almost thought about way in my first marriage when my older daughter was like 1 or under, we contemplated moving there. Anyway, so my mother-in-law is moving, coinciding with my hottie being there. So, and she has this 6,000 square foot house in Manassas, and they're downsizing to a 2,500 square foot house in Florida, and they already have a house in Florida. So she already has a house in Florida that she already has furniture and stuff for. So anyway, she's downsizing, and she's been panicking. And when we were looking at this really big house that we're not going to get, but we were looking at this really big house and we have nothing. So he went to her house and she's like, well, I'm going to give you anything you want. You guys, she's giving me her parents' dining room set. And it's from 1890 and it's mahogany and it seats 12. It's huge. It has all these leaves and it's beautiful. I mean, you don't have to have it that big. You can make it smaller. And then she was like, and she collects all these like beautiful antique glass and things like that. And her daughter doesn't want any of it. And her other son doesn't want any of it because they're minimalist. And I said, I love antiques. You guys, before I moved here, I had the nicest antiques, but kind of funky antiques. Like I'm more of a funky person, like cool, old, funky things, right? So she's like, she called me. She goes, will you take this and will you take that? And I said, so I said to him, get a storage because they have to be, she sold her house. Her house sold in like, I don't know, less than a week. And they have to be out in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So I told him, I said, rent a storage in the town that we want to move to. And she called me a couple days ago. She goes, I was going to have, her son, my partner, move it. But she goes, it's too much. I'm just going to hire movers. So they're moving everything into storage for us. So we have stuff like a dining table and chairs, a couple bedroom suites, a couple of sofas that she's had reupholstered. I know, right? And they were nice. And then she goes, well, this sofa's an antique, but I had it reupholstered like 2 years ago. And just beautiful. She has very nice taste. And it's really beautiful, like really beautiful old things that have been in her family for a long time. And so I know, right? So I said, wow, I wasn't thinking about furniture or anything like that. I was thinking about a blow-up mattress. Guys, really, my focus has been on, I want to get an art studio, right? So she's like, so I guess tomorrow he's going to go and help do whatever he can do. And then they're moving it all to storage and like beautiful old rocking chairs and a beautiful desk and credenzas and armoires and just all kinds of stuff. And I said to him, whatever we don't want, if we don't have room for it or we don't want it, we can let it go because it's easier for us to let it go than Northern Virginia. Oh, I'm taking everything she'll give because I figured, Deb, I can take it. And if I don't want it, I can let it go. But she is sort of panicking. You know what it's like when you're moving? I think it is wonderful too. Laura. Oh, I'm happy for me too. Well, I'm most happy for me that she's happy because she was stressing out. And I guess if my partner hadn't come there, his sister called and said, "Do you guys want any of mom's old stuff?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know if Shelley wants it. If she wants it, we want it." And when I saw it, you guys, it's beautiful old antiques. Beautiful old antiques. I'll have a nice full house. I don't know if I'll have a nice full house, but you know what? It'll be a start. It'll be better than like coming there and having to buy all of that, you know? So, and I would honestly, I would not have bought a mahogany dining table that seats 12. I would not have done that. That would have not been in my picture. You know, I might have like bought some yard sale dining set that I wooden dining set that I fixed. I had this beautiful, and I'm kicked myself for letting it go, but I moved here, so I had to let it go. I had this beautiful farm table from like the late 1800s. It is a good base to start in my dining room when I lived in when I had my house in upstate New York, and it was so beautiful. I had some antique, lots of antique furniture, but they were mishmashed. You know what I mean? They were just like things I found at an antique store, at a yard sale, at an estate sale, just mishmash. The universe is waiting for me. You know what? That's what my daughter said here. She goes, "You know, mom," she goes, "I know that you're kind of like stressed and everything." She goes, "But I have a feeling you're going to get there and it'll just, everything's going to shift for you." I said, "Do you think so?" She goes, "I do." So we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. You know, we'll see totally how it unfolds. I'm excited, but I'm also like just daunted with like releasing all my stuff. Hey, but you know, one good thing is when you craft with recyclables, you can always find this. You can always get a restoration hardware catalog or a shade store catalog and be golden, right? I can always get multiples and be golden with that. I hope so, Nana. You know, it's like I'm ready. I feel like I think this is what we both decided. Like if his dad only has like I don't because I don't know much about vascular dementia, but from what I understand is it depends upon the makeup of the person to how quickly it, you know, how quickly it will progress, you know. So I said to him, if he's still enjoying things and wants to be, you know what I mean? If he's still with it enough, like he told me he had a great day playing 9 holes of golf, going to look at the house. He and my hottie went and went to the clubhouse after they played golf and had chicken wings. Like he sounded like so happy, right? I said, it's going to get so cold there. I said, why not just have him come here for the winter, right? Because who knows once we leave Hawaii when we'll come back, right? Connection is everything. I agree with you, Nana. Thanks for saying that. So I said, why not have him come here and spend the winter here? Because, you know, and then that gives me time to like let go of my stuff. It also gives my daughter time to finish school, you know, and not have to start a new school. See, they're kind of cute, even though they're made for magazine pages, right? You can't. I mean, you can see the magazine underneath it, but nobody would really know what it was. It was like a food ad, I think. It had lemons on it. That's what I liked about it, and I think it looks like it has jalapenos on it. I'll have many, many happy meals to rebuild my stash. Oh, Laura, I have to tell you. Oh my gosh. So I've been mailing Jane boxes of stuff for Defy. I mailed her, I can't even tell you, like all kinds of stuff. And the postman's like he can't. Usually I'm receiving boxes, right? And I'm sending them, but buy my postage from pirate ship, and then when he shows up, I just give it to him, and he's just like, "What's going on here?" Because it's boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff, and yeah, I'm grateful that I have an outlet that I can do that. A new craft room. I am like the thought of getting a craft room that I don't have to move my crap around. Oh my gosh. The one thing about the old farmhouse was that it had a shed in the back. It was filled with all kinds of crap that people left, but it wasn't tiny. And my hottie was like, I could see this being a shed for you if you like this house. I am on an adventure, Deb. I'm going to keep that in mind, especially when I felt like the other day I was sitting in the garage crying. I was like, I have so much stuff. Yeah, she should, right? I just don't know how I'm going to do winter, you guys. I haven't done winter in so long. I just guess getting some good long underwear, right? When I made these for my friend for her bouquet, the holes that I poked through, I got floral wire, and I just put the floral wire through two holes, like the buttonholes, the two like holes I did here, floral wire, and then just wrapped it, and I made it stiff. And it probably had, I don't know, 40 or 50 magazine flowers, a down coat and a down comforter. Yes. Uh, Guys, I used to live in New York. I didn't like the winter then. Fuzzy socks that you're happy about? Oh, you're so funny. Don't wait till the last minute to find a coat. I don't think we're going to go before. I don't know this for sure. I mean, my goal is that she gets out of school in May. So I'd like to go when she's out of school. I'd like us to stay till May if we can make that happen. I don't know because I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the reality, but she gets out of school in May and I'd like us to stay till May. You live in a down coat in the winter? Ugh. What do you do, Laura? Do you wear long underwear? What do you do, Jersey? I don't know. Yeah, a wood stove. Yeah, definitely a wood stove. Definitely a wood stove. You haven't had a real winter in years? Oh, well, I don't know if that's good or bad. Fleece leggings and tops. Good boots. You guys, I don't even have any closed-toed shoes. That is the one thing. My feet have not been in closed-toed shoes. I have clogs as my closed-toed shoes. Like when I used to work a job, like, an office job or whatever, when I ran a gallery, I had got myself closed like clogs because I knew that if I had clogs, like my feet could be okay. Mary Lou says she used to take the bus at 5 a.m. Ooh, and you'd be there bundled up and long underwear. I hear you. Oh no, you had instant chat. Deb says when she came back home from living in Key West, I love Key West. You had instant chap lips in your face when you got off the plane. Yikes. Get on LL Bean. Okay. Well, if I don't go till May, I'm not going to have to do it yet. Oh, you need flip flops and boots all season. Girl, all I have is that. I literally wear flip flops. That's all I wear. I don't have anything. I mean, I used to have like the shoes I'd wear to work. I'd wear them to work. I'd wear my flip flops in the car. When I got to work, I put my work shoes on, work in my work shoes. When I left work, I put them in my bag and put my flip flops back on. Good slippers too. Yeah, I hear you. I used to have the best pair of UGG slippers. that I gave to somebody when I left, because obviously you don't need that here. I got a lot to, yeah, that's all good. First world problems. All right, my lovelies, I love you guys. Thanks for staying and hanging out with me. I think Mary's probably still on. She'll be on till the wee hours of the morning because I want Mary's stamina. I don't know what. She eats her Wheaties for sure. I need to eat whatever Mary's eating because she has so much energy and she's up early and I don't know. Yeah, I need that. I need whatever whatever Meri has. I need that. Deb says she wears socks with her strap on old lady sandals all year round. I hear you, girl. You don't think Meri sleeps? I know, right? Oh, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Meri is one of a kind. I love her so much. I love her, and she's so talented. Like if Meri actually sold her artwork, I think people would buy it in droves. Don't you think? If Meri had her own if she had the Meri Atelier Etsy shop, she put her ATCs in there, they'd be snapped up in a heartbeat. I need Meri's diet for sure because I drag. Meri's with her tea in the morning, and I don't even know, does she even eat before she gets on her stream? I don't think she is. Meri is very talented. I know, right? She's so talented. And she's so sweet. Meri would be Meri's the kind of friend, the kind of neighbor you wish you lived next door to her, you know? She doesn't eat either? Oh, no. Well, then I can't be on Meri's diet because I have to eat. I don't know. Maybe I don't have to eat. Maybe I just need to change my mindset. Maybe if I change my mindset, I wouldn't have to eat either. Oh, she just sent you some artwork. You're going to hang it? Oh, yeah, she's on now. You guys go over and give her my love. I'm going to go over and chat her too, but I'm going to go. I got to go make some dinner for my kiddo. I hear her in there. I know. She has his tiny erasers and she carves into them. I know. She's so talented, Meri Lou. She is so talented. Yep, right. I craft with trash. She is a real artist. Or as my hottie says, I pity pat art. All right. I love you, girls. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love you so much. And I'm going to I will definitely be on Care's channel on Friday for the Black Friday sale from 12 to 5. And tomorrow there is a pop-up auction for jewelry. And from what I hear, some really great deals. And, come and collect some of my stuff. So I know it goes to a good home. All right, I love you guys. And hopefully I'll see you on Friday if I don't see you tomorrow at Care's auction. All right, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Thanks for being excited for me. It makes me feel better. Bye.